Let me tell you something, ladies. Men always going to say how they feel with their words. But you better believe, if he's doing these things, that man loves you. Quietly, deeply, and for real. See, fellas, we're taught to be tough. We're taught not to show emotion. We walk around like everything's fine, like we don't need nobody. But when a man really loves a woman, he shows it in ways that words can't even touch. When a man truly cares about you, he starts paying attention in ways that most people overlook. He tunes into the small things. And see, it ain't the big flashy gestures that tell you how he really feels. It's the little things he remembers. The quiet moments where he proves he's been listening all along. Most men, they hear you, but they're not really listening. You might be talking about your favorite song, something that happened at work, or how you don't like pickles on your burger. And most of the time, that just goes in one ear and out the other, unless he's into you. A man in love remembers what matters to you, even if it don't make much sense to him. Why? Because you matter to him. So now picture this. You offhandedly mentioned that you love a certain brand of tea. You didn't make a big deal out of it, just said it once while you were talking. A week later, he shows up with that exact tea without saying a word. It's not luck. That's not coincidence. That's a man who filed that piece of information away because it came from you, and when it comes from you, it means something to him. Ladies, let me be real with you. We don't naturally come built with emotional antenna. We don't always pick up on feelings or hints, but when we love you, we learn how. We train ourselves, we adapt. Because we want to get it right for you. That's why if a man is remembering the little stuff you didn't even think was important, it's because you are important to him. He knows your favorite color. He remembers that story about your grandma. He knows when you've had a rough day, even when you're pretending to be okay. That ain't just intuition, that's attention. That's love in the background, working silently. It goes beyond just remembering. It's how he uses that knowledge to make your life better. Even in the smallest ways. You mention your feet hurt after work, and one day he shows up with some Epsom salt or rubs them without being asked. You talk about a dream you had years ago, and he encourages you to go for it. That ain't surface level stuff. That's deep. That's a man who's invested. Let me tell you something else. When a man loves you secretly, he's studying you like a favorite song. He's picking up on the rhythm of your life, the way you move, the way you talk, the things that light you up, and the things that dim your spirit. It is when your laugh sounds different. When your energy is off, when something's bothering you, even when you're trying to hide it. And he won't always say anything about it. Sometimes he just adjusts, shows up, or quietly supports you in the background. Here's what makes it even more powerful. He doesn't do it for recognition. He doesn't need you to throw a parade or post about him online. He's not doing it so you'll notice. He's doing it because he noticed, and because love makes him want to show up for you without being asked. Does you ever meet a man who remembers your coffee order, your favorite childhood movie, the exact way you like your pillows fluffed? That man's heart is already halfway yours. Because real love doesn't just listen. It remembers. It spoils away the little things, the small details like treasures. Because to him, you are the prize, and anything connected to you becomes valuable. So when he does that, when he remembers and acts on things you didn't even know you said, no, that's not just him being nice. That's his heart showing up before his words do. A man might not come right out and say, I love you. Not at first, not if he's unsure how you feel or if he's scared of being vulnerable, but his actions will start speaking way before his mouth does. That's how you know. That's how he tells you without saying it out loud. Through attention, through remembering, through the kind of listening that comes from love. Most people don't talk about just protection. Not just physical, but emotional, spiritual, and even mental protection. See, when a man loves you, even if he ain't said it out loud yet, one of the biggest ways you'll feel it is in how he looks out for you, often without you even realizing it. And the thing is, he's not always going to say, I'm doing this to protect you. He's just going to do it. Listen now, a real man doesn't have to be asked to step up. It's automatic. It's instinct. When he cares about you, it's like a switch flips in him. Suddenly, your safety, your comfort, your peace, that all becomes part of his responsibility. And not because you demanded it, but because love makes him want to be your shield. Let me break this down. You walking down the street together, a man who's secretly in love with you will always walk on the outside closer to the traffic. He's not trying to show off. He's not doing it for attention. He's doing it because in his mind, if something were to happen, it better hit him before it gets to you. That's how deep it runs. That quiet instinct to protect, that's love talking. You mentioned being tired or stressed, and instead of brushing it off, he offers help. He tells you to rest, or he steps in and takes some of the weight off your shoulders. That man is guarding your peace. He knows this world is hard on you. And without saying a word, he's trying to make it easier, not by talking, but by acting. That's the thing, men ain't always the best with words. We don't always say, I'm worried about you, or I just want to make sure you're okay. But you'll feel it in the way he keeps his phone on in case you call late at night. Or how he checks up on you when you're out with your girls. Not because he doesn't trust you, but because he wants to know you're safe. That's not control, that's care, that's love moving quietly. And protection can show up in unexpected ways. Maybe you're around some toxic people and he speaks up not in a loud or disrespectful way, but firm enough to set a boundary. He sees when someone's mistreating you and he steps in. And sometimes you don't even realize how harmful something is until he gently pulls you out of it. That's love watching your blind spots. Also protect your energy. If he sees you burning out or running on empty, he'll step in not to take over your life, but to remind you to take care of yourself. He might encourage you to say no to things that drain you. Give space when you need it. He won't add to your stress. He'll do what he can to relieve it. That's a man with your best interest at heart. And I want you to pay close attention to this. When a man is quietly in love with you, he gets uncomfortable when you're hurt. If someone talks down to you, if life knocks you down, it hurts him too. That's when he'll try to fix it. Maybe not always in the perfect way, but from a place of love. He just wants you to be okay. That man is fighting battles for you in silence. In his thoughts, in his prayers, in his decisions, you may never hear him say, I'm doing this because I love you. But trust me, his actions are saying it over and over again. Because a man doesn't protect what he doesn't care about. Because if he's putting you first, making sure you're safe, watching over you, even from a distance, that man has love for you in his heart. You might not see it at first because real love like that doesn't always make a grand entrance. It moves quiet. It watches from the shadows. It puts you in a place of priority, even when he ain't on your radar yet. When you do notice this, when you really look at you, you'll see it in the way he shows up, stands by, steps in. This is when a man protects you without needing to be asked, without looking for credit, without trying to impress. That ain't just care. That's love, baby. The kind that's real. Most people don't understand about men. When a man truly, deeply, secretly loves you, he will start supporting your dreams in ways that may surprise you. He may not even understand your dream completely, but if he loves you, he'll believe in you. He'll back you. He'll encourage you even when he's scared of what that dream might mean for your future together. That's the difference between a man who just likes you and one who's already loving you quietly. Let's see a man who's into you for the surface stuff. He'll cheer for you when it's easy, when it benefits him, when it fits into his world. But a man who's got real love in his heart, he'll cheer for you even when your dream makes him uncomfortable, even when your ambition stretches beyond what he's used to. Because love isn't about control. It's about seeing you win, even if that win takes you places he hasn't been. You'll tell him about your goals, as maybe it's starting your own business, going back to school, moving to a new city for a career opportunity. And he doesn't shut it down. He listens. He asks questions. He gets curious. That's how you know he's not just hearing words out. He's processing the fact that your dream matters to you. And if it matters to you, it matters to him. Now, I'm not saying every man's going to fully understand your vision. Maybe he doesn't know the industry you're in. Maybe he doesn't get the ins and outs of what you do. But he's still in your corner. He's the one who tells you go for it, even when he's nervous about where it might take you. That's how you know that man is thinking long term. That's how you know he sees you as more than a passing moment. He sees you as part of his future. And then let me tell you something. It takes strength for a man to support a woman who shines bright. Not every man can handle that. Not every man can deal with a woman who's climbing ladders, chasing goals, making waves. Listen, but the man who loves you, even in silence, he wants to see you rise. He wants to see you break through. Because it's not about his ego, it's about your joy. Understand me, here's the thing. Sometimes support ain't loud. It's quiet, it's steady. It's that man staying up late with you while you finish that project. It's him watching the kids so you can go to that networking event. It's him sending you links to resources or people you might want to connect with. He might not say, I love you directly, but every act of support is him saying it over and over again. He's not intimidated by your fire. He respects it. And even when you doubt yourself, he'll remind you of who you are. Because let's be real, sometimes chasing dreams gets lonely. It gets hard. You hit walls. You lose momentum. And when that happens, a man who loves you will be the one saying, you didn't come this far to give up now. That ain't just support. That's belief. That's love in motion. Sometimes his support shows up in sacrifice. Maybe he rearranges his schedule. Maybe he holds down things at home so you can pursue that opportunity. Maybe he puts his plans on pause to help you chase yours. And you might think, he's just being nice. No, baby, that's love. That's what it looks like when a man puts your joy ahead of his convenience. Don't overlook that. Don't ignore the quiet ways he pushes you forward. Because any man can buy flowers. Any man can post you on his story. But a man who invests in your dream, that's the one who sees your soul. That's the one who's already committed in his heart, even if he hasn't said the words. Also, when you see him standing beside you, supporting what makes you come alive, even if it challenges him, you better believe that man is loving you deeply, quietly, and with a kind of strength that's rare. It's not just support, that's something real. That's something sacred. This white, let me tell you something straight up. When a man starts sacrificing for you, that ain't no small gesture. That's not something men do lightly. We don't just give up comfort, time, energy, or pride unless something, or someone means a whole lot to us. So when a man is loving you in secret, when he hasn't come out and said it yet, you can still tell by the way he gives up little pieces of himself to make your life better. That's sacrifice. That's the real quiet language of love. See, people think love is all about saying the right words. But let me tell you, actions don't lie. And a man's willingness to sacrifice is one of the loudest, clearest, most honest expressions of love there is. He may not have said, I love you yet. But if he's changing his routine, giving up things he enjoys, putting your needs before his own, that man is speaking from his soul. This might be as simple as him giving up his only free Saturday to help you move when you know he'd rather be watching the game. He doesn't complain. He doesn't make you feel bad about it. He just shows up because he wants to be there for you. Or maybe he's not a morning person, but he wakes up early to drive you to the airport or make sure you get your coffee before work. That ain't convenience. That's care. That's sacrifice. That's love. A man who loves you in secret will start letting go of things that once mattered to him because you now matter more. He'll skip nights out with his boys to spend time with you. He'll pass up opportunities that don't align with your future together. He'll put his pride aside during arguments, not because he's weak, but because keeping peace with you is more important than winning. That's maturity. That's love in disguise. And sometimes the biggest sacrifices are the ones you don't even see. You won't know he turned down something. You won't know he bit his tongue instead of lashing out. You won't know he was tired, but he still showed up for you. That's the kind of love that's invisible to the world, but loud in the heart. A man like that, he's already made space for you inside him, even if he hasn't said the words out loud. First, you want to know if a man loves you. Watch what he gives up to keep you smiling. Watch what he lets go to make room for your dreams, your comfort, your peace. We don't do that for just anybody. When a man sacrifices, he's saying, you matter more than my momentary pleasure. You're worth more than my habits or my ego. That's powerful. Listen, here's something else. When a man is sacrificing without making a big show of it, when he's doing it quietly without expecting credit or applause, that's how you know it's coming from a real place. You see, love don't always make noise. Sometimes it just moves in silence doing the work behind the scenes. And if you're paying attention, you'll feel it in your spirit. He'll sacrifice his own comfort to keep you secure. Maybe he's not great with words, but he'll still try to express himself for your sake. Maybe he's uncomfortable with emotions, but he'll sit through those deep conversations because he knows you need them. Or maybe he hates talking on the phone, but he answers every time you call. You see what I'm saying? He's bending in ways that don't come natural to him, and he's doing it with a willing heart. That's not weakness, that's love with strength in it. That's a man saying, I want to meet you where you are, even if it costs me something. And let me tell you, when a man is willing to be uncomfortable for you, when he's willing to shift and stretch for you, that man already loves you in ways he might not even fully understand himself. Let's never underestimate the quiet sacrifices. They may not come wrapped in poetry or posted online, but they're real. And sometimes they speak louder than anything else. When you see him giving, adjusting, showing up, but not just when it's easy, but when it costs him something, you're looking at love in its most unspoken, undeniable form.